Okay, so our favorite MGTOW Chud, honestly, he's not even really, like, officially MGTOW. He's just, like, really misogynistic, so I put him in this group. Andrew Tate, former kickboxer, former reality TV star, has a YouTube channel, and now he has beef with Leon Lush, I guess. This is a 50-minute video. There's like 0% chance we're going to get through this whole thing, but I do kind of want to see how Tate reacts to criticism. So let's take a look.
Right. Something terrible has happened. I want all of you to know, and I want all of you to understand something. I live a very good life. I am a multimillionaire. I'm a retired professional athlete. I have 16 supercars. I live in this big-ass mansion. I live in...
Supercars that he leases, for the record. He only has, and I say only, I wish I only had $6 million, but he has like 6 supercars that cost like $500,000 each, anywhere between like $100,000 to $500,000. I think the most expensive I've seen is like a $500,000 one. And if his net worth is $6 million, 0 chance he owns those cars. He's got to be leasing them. So I do find it funny that he's stretching himself further than he can. I don't know. Just find it interesting.
In Romania, where I have political connections, I'm above the law. I can speed in fast cars. I can do whatever I want.
Admitting that you're bribing politicians and cops isn't the flex you think it is.
I'm Steven Seagal. I'm above the law. I live a very good life. The only reason I have a...
If you find yourself comparing yourself to Steven Seagal as a positive, please reconsider and please watch better movies.
YouTube channel at all is to educate some of you, because as you know, many of you are in my programs and you're learning lots of things about life and you're making lots of money. Now, let me tell you something that happens when you are a brilliant individual. You attract hate. That's what happens, right? And hate is fantastic because there's no such thing as bad press. I understand.
Like the My Pillow guy, he's doing so good right now. It's also really good to go on the internet and admit that you bribe corrupt officials in the country you live. That's always a good move.
And that the way I project myself and the way I act online is going to attribute hate from lesser individuals, because hate never comes from above. It always comes from lessers. Remember this. But sometimes some of the hate's worth replying to. So I did one for Your Mama's House. I replied to them.
So this bitch, sorry, I don't want to get banned. This female is the cheating one. The one who was on that 70s show is sucking dick.
They were kind of cool in the end. But now some new little girls come along, some little fat girl, and she's making videos about me. I think this is the second one the fat girl's done. And people keep saying, Tate, do a reply to the girl, do a reply to the fat girl. I don't normally talk to fat chicks. They've got to be pretty, you know, I only talk to attractive women.
Is he talking about me? Because if he's talking about me, hi Tate, how are you doing?
But this little fat girl's made a video about me, so I'm gonna do a reply video. So that's
no, he's talking about Leon Lush, who is
Big
not
Daddy
a girl.
Tate is gonna waste
to
20
my knowledge.
minutes of his fantastic
Am I wrong?
life talking about this little fat girl and her uninteresting opinions.
Even with
Yeah,
that
no, they're talking about this
reputation,
person.
I still look up to one man, Andrew Tate.
Oops.
I've been sent the video.
I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
I've skipped through. I haven't watched it in its entirety, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to be said. But from the few seconds I've watched, there's something very interesting I discovered. And as you watch this video, it's going to become very apparent to you. This girl and her little boyfriend, which jumps in later, they live the internet. And when I say live the internet, what I mean is, if my YouTube channel got deleted today, I would still be a 6'4" multimillionaire, retired world champion athlete. I would...
Right, but you wouldn't be making nearly as much money because this channel is just an advertising effort to try and get non-confident, insecure men to come to your website and pay you for useless advice. So I think you'd be doing pretty badly, but you know, you do you.
Still be the kind of man everyone wants to be. If these guys...
Again, Tate, no, most people don't want to be like you because you live a vapid, empty life where you use material possessions and faux machismo to try and make it look like you're happy when you're clearly not. These things aren't good. It'd be great to have $6 million. I'd take it. But I would never live the kind of life you live because it's pathetic.
Guys lost their YouTube channels, they'd have nothing. There's nothing aspirational about them. No man wants to be them. No woman wants to fuck them.
Let me look at, hold on. Leon Lush. Is this the person he's talking about? But it doesn't look like the person he's talking about. Right? Is there multiple Leon Lushes? No, okay. This guy's also in it, so maybe he just has a friend on. Let's take a look at Social Blade for Leon Lush. Leon Lush. Mr. GG, okay. Let's look at Leon Lush. Okay. So, Leon Lush, according to Social Blade, which can be, it has a huge, margin of error, is making between $14,000 and $233,000 a year, which is pretty darn good. Who's the other guy? Mr. GG. And this guy's making, oh, he's got to make more than that. That's crazy. Either way, my point is, like, these people, this is their job. So yeah, if they lost their YouTube, it would probably suck a lot for them because it's their career.
There's nothing. Nobody looks at them and goes, wow, never. Their whole life is based around the fact that they've managed to amass followers on a YouTube channel. So that's going to become an important point we're going to come back to, because that's what the world's really about, right? YouTube's supposed to be a reflection of who you are. And you have a lot.
What? YouTube is a service to put videos. What do you mean it's a reflection of who you are?
A lot of people on YouTube who are very big, but there's nothing interesting or aspirational about them as a person, right? And the reason I get hate is because my YouTube channel's small. So why do they come for me? Well, the reason they come for a small...
Because you're a misogynistic asshole. They come for you because you're a lol cow.
Channel like mine is because they know outside of YouTube, I'm the kind of guy they wish they were. I'm everything they wish they were. But we'll get into that later. So let's start with what the little chick has to say.
And with that, the audience will judge you at every turn. They'll dissect your personality. They'll examine your traits. And then they will label you with the results. So for example, if you go to my comments...
Since we're looking at Social Blade, let's look at Tate's real quick. Just curious. So Tate's making between $800,000 and $13,000 a year. And his YouTube channel has 32,000 subscribers. Ooh, I'm getting more subscribers per month at this point than Tate Speech. Good job. Yay me.
You'll often see people refer to me as handsome, innovative, capable of growing a beard that definitely isn't reminiscent of Apache catfish. An alpha. But even with that reputation, I still look up to one man, Andrew Tate.
Okay, well, it's good to have female fans, as usual. So let's see. It's good that he looks up to me.
Is Tate's one joke in this going to be that he's going to misgender this person? Oh boy, Tate. You have enough money to hire an editor. Hire a writer. Jesus Christ.
He should. There's a lot about the world I could teach him.
I've talked about this man in the past, and he still confuses me to this day. He's such a draw, because you want to hear the batshit things he's gonna say. And even crazier, you find yourself randomly agreeing with him. Like, oh fuck, is he right about everything?
Yes, I am. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to take it back. I apologize for calling you a girl. I'm sorry. I was going to call you a little fat girl the whole way through, and I shouldn't do that. You're a little fat boy, and I apologize for calling you a girl. You're a little fat boy, and I am right about everything. And I know I look like the kind of guy who used to pick on you in high school, and that's why you're upset, because I'm the archetype of the guy who used to bully you. But don't be afraid, my friend.
It's so satisfying to me listening to Tate do this and clearly be super mad that someone who Tate clearly doesn't have respect for this Mr. GG guy or Leon Lush, because I imagine he looks at Mr. GG, and even though Mr. GG appears to be a completely normal person with a good sense of humor, successful on YouTube. They're probably a decent person. I've never really watched their content. Tate looks at that person, and it's the kind of person Tate looks down to, because Tate has a antiquated, sort of traditional idea of masculinity of I need to be fucking bitches, I need to be going to the gym, I need to be 6'5", I need to be, you know what I mean, driving supercars. And then you have someone with, like, Tate's whole thing is a front. Tate's whole thing is a persona he's putting on to hide his insecurity and pretending to be something he's not. Whereas someone like Mr. GG, at least from that short clip I saw, is the kind of person who's pretty good with self-deprecating humor, someone who can look at themselves and laugh, you know, someone with actual confidence. And I think that bothers Tate on a visceral level, that someone Tate views as a lesser is insulting him. I think it legitimately pisses him off in a way that's indescribable for him. I think it makes him incredibly frustrated and makes him feel impotent in that he can't accurately, like, respond to the things that they're about to say about him. Because I'd imagine everything they're going to say is real. Tate is pathetic. Tate is insecure. Tate is overcompensating. Tate is a misogynistic asshole. These are all things that are true about Tate. And he's going to get called out, I'd imagine, on all of this. And he has no way to respond because it's all true.
I can teach you many things about the world. I'm a beacon of knowledge. Do you understand that I've lived a life you could never possibly live? You could never have 75 cam girls in your house making you money, making you a multimillionaire.
Like, this is what he has to do. He can't rebut the fact that he's pathetic, so he has to assert that the things that make him pathetic and a gross person aren't in fact pathetic and gross. They have to be positives. He has to say, oh, you want to be exploiting a bunch of women who live in your house and do OnlyFans and give you part of the money, even though that's disgusting and exploitative. He has to insist that these terrible things he does are good things because it's all he has.
Boxing world champion. You could never have been to Iraq, Baghdad, or Chisinau, Moldova. You could never have been arrested by Russian special forces. Problem is, on that overnight train, I nearly got robbed. That train is completely mafia run. So like, how the fuck do we get out? All the planes are booked for another week. We don't want to take the train again because of what happened the first time. It's a war zone. It's a fucking war. We're chilling. I see someone outside the car. Blacked out.
Tate is a pimp.
Black.
Tate has a business venture where he basically has like a warehouse that he houses and takes care of, feeds, I imagine, and provides housing for a bunch of women that he then has go on OnlyFans and do OnlyFans stuff as their job, and then he takes a cut of it. So basically he's a pimp. Yes, he's a digital pimp. Yeah.
Get out of the car, get out of the car. Me and Tristan look at each other like, for fuck's sake. Like, we should have known better. Shit's about to go down. We just got in the car with our hands up. They got guns pointed at us. We're like, yeah, well, who the fuck are you? Like, this is more than just a routine robbery. They even had our Mr. fucking rally driver at gunpoint. You could never have done any of the things I've talked about on this channel. I live for you so that I can learn lessons to teach you. People like me, basically Jesus Christ, are beacons for lesser individuals like you so you can...
As we all know, Jesus said, and thou shalt exploit Eastern European women and make money off their backs, even though you provide no actual good or service to the world. Amen.
Learn via my experience. So of course I'm right about everything. Of course I am. You're a little fat boy. You can't be Tate. So pay attention. The gayest thing you can do is buy pictures of a chick's tits.
Andrew Tate is bald.
Tate, that's part of your business model, is selling people pictures of other women's scantily clad body parts.
Bald, by the way, and that's because he stopped caring about his hair. My prediction, however, is that he started to experience some form of male pattern baldness, and that's because he didn't have Keeps, today's sponsor. I've refused to get a haircut out of the fear that I will lose these luscious locks.
So he's selling a product here. Well, you can see here, you can see the pattern of my hair. And I shaved my hair off. Actually, it's quite an interesting story about why I shaved my hair off. I shaved my hair off, I put this on Twitter because, it's a long story, I'll keep it short, but when I was young, my father said I should shave my hair off because he said, when you're a full-grown man, nobody cares what your hair looks like. They're going to care about the quality of man you are as an individual. They don't care what your hair looks like. They care if you're big and strong and rich and successful and interesting and charming and smart. So you don't need hair. Any man who really thinks they need hair to be attractive to females or to matter in the real world has no substance. Nobody.
Do you not understand that people can just, like, want hair to have a certain hairstyle? It doesn't need to be to attract people or whatever. You can just want hair. What?
Looks at Tate and goes, he's pushing a Lamborghini. He makes $10 or $15 million a year. He's strong. He's a retired kickboxing world champion. His father was a chess master. All these beautiful women love him.
You definitely don't make $10 to $15 million a year, because I looked at your video the other day. This is fun. Remember we looked up his net worth and it was like $6 million or something? And I was like, I don't know if that's accurate. Hold on, let's see this. At some point in this ad, he says $6 million, or it says $6 million. Let me see if I can find it. 15 car collection, worth $6 million and still growing. See what I'm saying? His net worth is only $6 million. So zero chance he's making $10 to $15 million a year. Even here, he's admitting he's only worth $6 million. While also claiming he has 15 supercars, which are presumably part of that net worth. So, unless he's leasing them, again, in which case he's just overextending his wealth beyond what he should be having as a way to try and market his shitty business to get insecure men to come and try and learn to make money on cryptocurrency or being a pimp or whatever he tells them to do.
But don't like his haircut. Nobody thinks that. Because as a man, your value is not derived from how you look. Your value is derived from your competency. How competent are you as a man?
Which is why you spent the first 5 minutes of this video insulting that other YouTuber's looks. Consistent.
James Bond can change his haircut. He's still James Bond. This individual thinks hair is important because, like we've already discussed, there is nothing aspirational about him. There's nothing about him anyone wants to be. So he's going to go down to infantile, pathetic little indicators of importance, such as a haircut.
These luscious locks forever. That's because 2 out of 3 lads experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time.
So now he's selling his.
Did you know that? I did.
Your entire YouTube channel is a big ad for your website, Tate. Seriously? You're gonna make fun of someone else's ad read?
For no specific reason.
Now he's selling his product. Let's get through this. Skip. Boring.
Look at these pictures. I see satisfactory results. And don't worry, I've already asked. They don't do anything for facial hair. So if you are ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/MrGG or click the link in the description to receive 50% off of your first order. That's keeps.com/MrGG. And thank you, Keeps, for sponsoring this video. I wanted to revisit his content, but if I am going to do that, I'm gonna need a lot more testosterone on my side if I want to make it out alive. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a round.
Well, we agree on that, friend. Certainly. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had your testosterone levels checked. In fact, I had my testosterone levels checked about a month ago because everyone was saying, Tate, how old are you now? I'm 34. And they said, your testosterone levels start to drop. And you can see here a picture of my test. And you can see from...
I'm a real man, bro. Just look at my T count. I got it tested because I'm definitely not insecure about the way I feel. Look at my testosterone test.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The test that I've never taken a steroid in my life.
I love Tate
Anyone who
so
knows
much.
And understands testosterone tests will be able to see here. I've never taken a steroid in my life. And my free testosterone level is double the average high amount found in the average male. So basically, God's blessed me. Like power runs through my veins. I have fire blood. I was just given heaps of testosterone for basically no reason other than to live this fantastic life to educate you all. I'm Superman, genetically. I'm biologically wired, hormonally wired to be better than you. And especially better than this. Is he still a girl or is he a boy? I haven't decided. He's on the fence.
Okay, we're repeating jokes. We're only 9 minutes into this 50-minute video, Tate. You can't be repeating the same joke 5 times. It was old after the second time you said it. And it was an old joke the first time you said it. Just calling someone by the wrong, gender, that's not really cutting-edge humor in 2021.
Gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our very special guest. He is a fellow YouTuber, musician, father, sweaty Rocket League player, winner of the Mr. Beast Circle Challenge, Leon Lush.
Never heard of her.
Oh, it's the same joke again. Do we need to start a counter on how many times he just does the same joke? Let me get a notebook. Hold on. We'll see how many times he does the joke. What are we at right now? At least 4. Did anyone count any more than that? You think 5? We'll start with 5, okay? 1. Oh, come on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is this a boy or a girl?
Let's go, baby.
Oh, it's the
Happy
same.
to be
Oh God,
here.
there was no reload time. Number 6.
Thanks for having me on, Mr. GG.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Leon Lush. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not homophobic in any way, but
If you gotta say but,
I said the gayest thing that ever existed was buying a picture of a girl's tits. I'm going to change that. The gayest thing that's ever existed is these two on a YouTube video.
Tate's best comeback is, you gay, bro. Have you considered you gay, bro? Fellas, is it gay to like titties?
So, we have a playlist of Andrew Tate videos here. I'm gonna let you choose your fate. I want to see what you get drawn toward.
All right, for pretext now.
Honestly, at this point, remember that time we went over Tate's poems and I was actually like, oh, these are like competent poems. They're not expert level professional poems, but like a good high schooler or a moderate, college student could write these. Great. At this point, based on the fact that he's using the same joke multiple times, makes me think he paid someone to write those poems. Because those poems actually had clever lines in them, and yet this is what Tate is stooping to in terms of insults. I'm thinking he maybe paid someone to write those poems for him.
You and I have both done a little bit on Andrew Tate because he is kind of a bit infamous, I guess, in the commentary community. A little bit of misogyny, some hedonism, just a tad. I don't know if you saw this, but since I last did my video, there was some more damning evidence came out about him, and as far as how he treats women, like pretty bad.
How does someone whose content is this level like get canceled on other stuff?
So that's Andrew Tate in a nutshell, basically. Hates women or thinks they're objects and thinks he's basically God.
He has a lot of wisdom. That's why he makes big.
But you know what? This is actually quite a common criticism. Hating women. Women made me a multimillionaire. I have a whole bunch of beautiful women who adore me. I don't hate women because I have opinions on women.
You hate women because you hate women. I've heard you talk about women, Tate. Saying, I can't hate women, I make money off women, is like the dumbest point ever. Like, imagine if I'm Thomas Jefferson and I go, I don't hate black people, I've made a ton of money with my slaves. Like, what? That's not how this works. You have no respect for women. You've said this multiple times. You think the only time a woman should open her mouth if your dick is going in it, okay? You're a misogynistic piece of shit. We know this.
It's very often for bait.
He's talked about beating women before, about beating people he's been with.
And lesser men like these guys with low testosterone levels. If you have an opinion on females, you hate them. So my view
if your opinion is that women are shit, then yeah, you hate them.
is very simple. I believe that men are better at some things and women are better at some things. If a man breaks into this house, I'm not going to send my woman to fight. I'm going to go fight because I believe that's my job. So do I see the women as inferior? Well, I do see the woman as inferior in regards to physical combat. Of course she is. So I'm going to go and
You've
fight.
also said you think women are stupider than men and that you don't want to talk to them. So what do you think women are good at?
These dudes, oh no, we're equal. Women are my equal. You go check if someone broke in the house. That's the kind of men they are. And that's why me having an opinion on females, me saying, look, I'm better than women at some things, offends them. Because
That's not what he said. He's very much trying to mitigate all the awful, terrible things he's said about women before. He's just gaslighting. He has said awful things about women, and we've seen them on this channel many times.
they see females as their equal. In fact, and I would know this from running a cam studio for many, many years, Anyone who's watching this doesn't know, I have a webcam studio. Women work for me online. These guys look
He's a pimp.
exactly like customers. These guys are the kind of guys who idolize females. They look at women and because they don't get any women, right? So they're completely, to them, women are goddesses. So that's why they take offense when a man like me doesn't see women as goddesses. I think they're humans, and I think
You understand that there's a middle ground between, like, putting a specific gender up on a pedestal and thinking that they're better than everyone else, and saying, I think all women are shit and that it's okay to beat women. The middle ground would be, regardless of your gender, you're a human being, and you should be treated with dignity and respect. And don't just say, oh, I just say women are better at different things. I've never heard you say women are good at anything except for sexual acts. That's the only time I've ever heard you say something positive about a woman, is if you've, like, complimented them on doing something to you sexually. It's super gross.
they're good at some things. I think they're bad at some things. That only offends these men because they idolize females. They put them on a pedestal. They see
Yeah, they should be like Tate and hit women for reasons.
females as above them. And that's down to their innate lack of masculinity and their innate lack of admirable attributes. There's nothing about these men which is admirable. So of course they see women as their superiors.
That's why he makes videos on everything.
Again, superiors. They said nothing about superiors, Tate. They see women as equals to them because women are.
Has no boundaries. He'll talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about.
Like Spider-Man 2021 review, perhaps? Oh, he's got the whole... Yeah. Brutal review.
Part of me
he
wants
calls
to
it.
believe that he put in that edit himself.
Sorry, so edit myself. We're gonna go back to me talking about how these guys live on YouTube. These guys make their own videos, they edit their own videos. I work with a...
At their level, they probably have editors. I would guess. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they enjoy doing the editors, but when you have like 1 million subscribers like Leon Lush has, you tend to have an editor just for simplicity's sake. You're making enough money that you can. Makes it easier for you to just put content out without having to deal with the monotony of editing. I'd probably do that if I made a ton of money, but I don't. But who knows? Maybe they do their own videos. Either way, it would be fine if they did. It's their job.
Very capable cameraman. He's watching me right now as I speak. He films for me, he edits for me. I live a good life. You think I've got time to edit videos? I've got a guy who's like an expert who does that shit for me. I'm not a nerd like these two, whose whole life is based on their follower accounts. If they lost their follower accounts, you could walk past these dudes on the street, and you know what would happen? You wouldn't even notice them. People walk past me, and they're like, they're either intimidated or they remember me. You walk past these guys, they're just NPCs, characters in the Matrix, not ready to be unplugged, idolizing women, sitting around laughing at themselves because they can't grow a beard. Would you want to be that man? This is a genuine question. Imagine.
I would love to be able to not grow a beard. I'm going to electrolysis every week to get to that point. Thanks for asking, Tate.
You're in the sky. You're in the clouds above. And God says, I'm about to make you born, and you're going to live 80 human years. And your choice is, you can either be born as Andrew Tate, or you can be born as Mr. GG, or you can be born as Lush.
Oh, definitely either Mr. GG or Leon Lush. I'd prefer it to be, like, if I have another option, like a woman, that would be excellent. I'm already trying to deal with my transition and stuff. But if I have to pick between those three, I would never in a million years pick Tate. Tate seems miserable. Tate's entire life is a front. Tate's entire life is overcompensating and projecting. It sounds terrible.
Lush is a sex toy for cam girls, by the way. So you chose a good name. Genuinely. So you're up in the sky, you're a spirit. You're going to be put in Andrew Tate's body and live his existence.
Wait, is your insult to him that he has the same name as a sex toy for women? I don't think that's the burn you think it is.
You're going to live the existence of Mr. GG, a little fat boy who makes videos on YouTube, or Lush, a sex toy. Who would you like to be?
I don't know, who has more subscribers, Mr. GG or Leon Lush? Which other one has more subscribers?
There's not a single person alive who would choose to be either of those two individuals over me.
Me. Checkmate.
And this is true. Let's imagine it's like Sims, and you're going to build your...
Here, we'll do a poll real quick in chat. Poll. Okay, here's a poll. Would you rather be Tate, or would you rather be either Leon Lush or Mr. GG? Let's see how this poll goes. Let's see. So far, our poll seems rigged because so far, Tate has 1 vote and Leon, Mr. GG, has 92 votes. So, how's that going? Tate's in the audience? I guess so. Oh god, I should have set this poll for a shorter period. Now we just gotta bullshit until it's done. Tate and bot. No, that's Tate's editor. It's Tate and Tate's editor. Don't you know? Okay. So far, we are at 98% Leon / Mr. GG and 2% Tate. 2 votes for Tate, 118 for the other guys. Tucker White says I voted Tate to be contrarian. There's always a couple people who do that. My headphones are all tangled. There we go. Got it. Tate got charity votes. Yeah, it happens. It's almost over. Doesn't look like many new votes are coming in, but let's see. So, Leon and Mr. GG got 98% of the vote with 126 votes, and Tate got 2% of the votes with 3 votes. So how'd that work out for you, Tate? Looks like a lot of people don't want to be you because they see through your facade and recognize that you are miserable.
Character. Because my character is based on hard work, right? You have to work your ass off.
It's hard work to exploit Eastern European women and use their bodies to make me money.
To become you have to work extremely hard to become a kickboxing world champion. You need to be brave. You need to train every single day. Then you got to make a whole bunch of money. Then women have to admire you, which means you have to be charismatic and smart and worthy of respect. All these things I've done, I've worked for. These men are extremely lazy. Their only idea of work is making YouTube videos. That's why they're not admirable. So
your idea of work is kicking people in the face, which is fine, by the way. That is work. If I needed an expert on kickboxing, Tate would be a fine person to ask. I'm sure Tate knows how to kickbox. I'm sure he knows how to train. Clearly, he takes care of himself physically. But, like, the fact that he does that for a living or did that for a living, but feels the need to make fun of people who are making YouTube videos is hilarious. Like, Tate, your job was kicking people in the face. Do you think that's productive? No, it's entertainment. It's sports. And YouTube is entertainment. They're both fine.
if you were to say, look, here's your character, you can create your person from thin air without work required. Do you want to be Andrew Tate, a 6'4" kickboxing world champion multimillionaire, or do you want to be this short, fat guy who can't grow a beard?
Short, fat guy, especially because can't grow a beard.
Or the little sex toy one. No one wants to be them. If they had the choice, if they were spirits in the sky and could jump into a body, they'd choose me. Of course they would.
No, again, Tate, your life is sad. We all see it as sad.
I'd choose me. Anyone here being honest would choose me. No one wants to be these men. So when I said at the beginning that their entire lives are based around their YouTube channels, they're proving that to be true. When I said at the beginning that hate never comes from above, it always comes from below, that's glaringly obvious. I mean, if these men could do any of the things I've done, they do them, but they can't. Yeah, Spider-Man's a pussy.
Wait, what did he start with?
How this conversation started.
Because Spider-Man's a pussy. Right?
He is. Spider-Man is a pussy. What's wrong about that video? Spider-Man's a pussy.
You don't... call it a brutal review and not call Spider-Man a pussy in the first sentence.
Agreed.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was talking about how all superhero movies are stupid and it's all bullshit, but the worst of them all is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is...
I mean, let me just...
I reviewed that video too. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Basically, Andrew Tate is upset that Spider-Man has real-world problems and he has emotions, and he thinks he's a weakling for that, even though that's specifically why Spider-Man became so popular. Spider-Man became popular because he wasn't Superman, who was just perfect all the time and always great. He was Peter Parker, who was a mess and had tons of problems, and people found that relatable. That's what made Spider-Man successful.
I mean, they're superhero movies. Of course, they're bullshit. I don't know. We're talking about real life. We're talking about a real life man that's a spider.
I think what's gonna bother him is that he holds himself up in such high regard that anything that challenges that, even in fiction, he just fucking hates it. He's like,
Yes.
nope, can't achieve that. I've tried.
That's
Trust me,
true.
I'm very close.
He was a dork who got bit by a spider. Now he's super spider dork, and he still can't get laid.
By the way, one thing about Andrew Tate is everything in the world that has value revolves around like coming back to the home base of can you get laid with it or not.
Yeah, so this is an interesting point. Everything in the world that has value comes back to the home base of can you get laid? Well, from a biological and from a historical perspective, the only men that reproduced were men of value, right? So if you look at humans from the dawn of time.
How about from a happiness perspective, Tate? How are you doing? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel like your life is worth living? Or is it entirely based upon you achieving more and more material wealth and vapid, empty relationships with women who hate you? Which one? What's going on? How you doing?
Only 10% of males reproduced. The majority of men died without ever reproducing, whereas
That's definitely untrue.
99% of females reproduce. So the point being that, yeah, if you're a high-value man that's achieved things of value, it's going to make you be perceived by females as a better mate. It doesn't matter if you make more money. It doesn't matter if you train and get a better body. It doesn't matter if you become more important. All these things are seen as admirable. They're all seen as something that a female wants in their partner. So when I link things back to getting laid, what I'm effectively doing is I'm going down to the baseline of humanity, the lowest common denominator, right? These dudes clearly struggle with women.
As we all know, the bottom tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is, does it get your dick sucked?
I know they said Lush, the sex toy, is married to a 4. So, I mean, he's married to the kind of girl I reject. So, of course, if he finds it offensive when I mention that, yeah, sex is important, and your value as a man, to some degree, will always be derived by how many females want you.
Jesus Christ. His mentality, this speech explains so much about why he prioritizes what he does. This is so sad.
Females wanting you is a good indicator of value as a man. Just as a woman, your value is derived from men wanting you. Look at all these...
No, Tate, I think you need to hear this. Tate, your value as a person does not have to come from the approval of others, whether it's women in a sexual context or anyone else in any other context, romantic, platonic, business. You are valid as a person regardless of these things. You don't need to perpetually end up in this cycle of seeking validation from women to be a whole person. And in fact, I think it's quite unhealthy of you to continually orient your goals toward that end without any sort of fulfillment involved outside of cooming, okay? It's not healthy. It's not good for you, and it ends up with you having pretty negative opinions on women, clearly, based on what we've heard you talk about before. So, I would suggest you take some time, see a therapist, reorient in what you're valuing in terms of your day-to-day activities, and probably stop taking advantage of the sex workers that you are taking advantage of.
Supermodels and all these Instagram models and all these women who are very beautiful, their value is derived from the fact that men want to be with them. And a man's value is derived from the fact that women want to be with him. Now, because no women on earth want to fuck these guys, they're going to pretend that isn't true. This is the thing with...
Doesn't Leon Lush have kids?
About life. When you live a second-rate existence like these betas have to, you either have to accept very harsh truths or deny them. They could accept that I'm superior to them physically and mentally and financially, and they can accept that anyone would rather be me than them, and they can...
It's untrue, though. You're in better shape, you're wealthier, but you're definitely not more intelligent, and again, you're certainly not happier.
Accept that no female alive...
No one who takes themselves this seriously is happy. No one. It's gotta be so stressful every day. Just being this, oh god, I gotta sleep with women every day. I gotta make another $1 million. Chill out. Have a sense of humor about yourself, Tate. Jeez.
not a single one would choose them over me, including the wife of the sex toy. I mean, if I were to message her for 5 minutes, she'd leave him for me. Of course she would.
I would love to see Leon Lush's wife or whoever. I guess I don't know if he's a straight guy or not. I would love to see Leon Lush's partner laugh in Tate's face about that comment.
But instead of accepting it, they'd rather deny the realities, and they continue to live in a dream. And by denying the realities, it prevents them from changing themselves. If the little fat one accepted the reality, he'd go on a diet, and he'd start to train. But he won't accept the reality, so he stays fat. So he'll sit and say, it doesn't matter, and he'll eat ice cream, because he lives in a dream.
Is he actually going to review the recent Spider-Man film, or is he just talking shit about Spider-Man?
No, he just doesn't like Peter Parker because he cried once in a scene.
If I was Spider-Man, you think that bitch wouldn't be sucking and fucking? By hook or by crook? If by some crazy twist of fate, she goes, no, I don't want to. I'd be like, psst, fuck you talking about no?
So he'd rape her, is what he's saying. Yeah. that's so...
It's so weird. I don't know why I still give him the benefit of the doubt in any type of situation. I thought he was just going to spray her in the face. Ha ha, run away. Fuck you. How you going to get that web off?
The thing that's crazy about this guy is he does have this kind of cult following of these young men who revere him as like this sort of god that doesn't care. They're kind of using his veracity and his tenacity towards life to fill that void, and it's giving them a really, like an incel view of what it means to be a man, I think.
He's breeding.
An incel view of what it means to be a man, I think. Says the guy married to a kickboxing world champion who runs a webcam studio full of beautiful women.
Yes. Because you don't value women as human beings, you value them as objects to be conquered. That's literally what he's saying.
If you don't see the irony there, and his friend, his little partner who's agreeing with him, is a virgin.
Breeding more Andrew Tates around the world, and that's frightening.
The man basically, if you've watched any of his content, which you have, like, he thinks women are just worthless objects, basically, only there to please men.
Not true at all. I think that men are better at some things and women are better at some things.
Oh, come on. Tate, you liar. We've seen your videos. They're still up online. I can see you talking about hitting women and thinking that all they're good for is for pleasing men. The video about you, if like when you said like, oh, what if I had a daughter? I'd be disgusted because all she's good for is for pleasing a man. Like, that video exists, Tate. I can go look at it right now. You know what? Let's go. Let's go. Real quick. In and out. 5-minute adventure. Where's the video on him having a daughter? Hold on. Oh, God. How am I going to find it now? I know I've watched it. He was in, like, oh, God. He was in a room. I think he was smoking a cigar. But that doesn't help because he's made a ton of those videos. Gosh darn it. Gotta find it. Where the heck is it? Brother-sister relationships. That's not what I want. Worst type of friends to have. Maybe if I search son, Control F son. Because I know we talked about having a son and daughter in it. Gosh dang it. Child? Maybe. God damn it. Well, I can't find it now, so that sucks. We're gonna have to find it later, or if someone wants to find it for me, that'd be great. But I understand if you can't. Either way, we've watched this video before, Tate, on you like hitting women and shit. How about this? Tate on women. You probably say some shitty things about women in this one.
If you're going to be on my YouTube channel, you need to understand that I live in the real world, and the real world is sexist. And when I say that, people start freaking out going, you hate women. I don't hate women. I just think men are better than women at certain things, and they happen to be the things that are extremely important for survival. Next time a woman gives you that strong, independent woman bullshit, you need to remind her that less than 200 years ago, without a man in her life, she would literally die. Men hunted. Men are stronger. We can run faster. We can swim further. We can fight.
None of that was socially imposed, by the way. It's all entirely biological, and women certainly weren't being kept in place socially by men.
There's a lot of things a man can do that a woman instinctively cannot do. And for a long period of human history, if a woman didn't have a man, she would literally die and starve to death. So women need men for survival. Men don't need women. Yeah, we like to fuck women, and we need women to have babies. But in general, a man can survive on its own. A woman can't. And if you look at the way the world is, this is why women are instinctively attracted to alphas or attracted to men with money or status, because women know they need to be provided for and cared for. Any real woman who's going to not come at you with this new age feminist bullshit is going to agree with you. She's going to sit there and go, yeah, you're actually right. Women need men far more than men need women. And that's because men are physically superior to females. And in the real world, you take away society, you go down to the very basic instincts of what being a human is. Being physically superior is actually, in most forms, the only form of superiority that matters.
Okay, you get what I'm saying. This is a lot of his videos. He has tons of videos like this. He has videos on not caring about women, about sleeping with women and not caring about them, you know, all sorts of shit. He's a homophobe, he's a transphobe. He had a whole video where he's like, if I had a kid, I would, you know, if it was a woman, I wouldn't know how to deal with the kid because all they're good for is pleasing a man. It was a whole thing. It was ridiculous.
Capitalism.
Yeah, and he's a rape apologist. He said he doesn't believe women ever get roofied. He says they just make it up. It's ridiculous. Anyway, back to his bullshit.
He gets very offended. Let me look this guy's wife up. Let me show you his wife. Leon Lush, wife. Here we go. There. That's the guy.
Okay, she's pretty. She's beautiful. He's handsome. What's the issue?
Who's giving you an opinion on women. There. Let's be honest, gentlemen. I'm not trying to throw shade. Look, I'm not trying to insult the guy. Do you want his wife? Okay, I'll show you my last 5
I don't know his wife. What?
girls. And let me ask you, do you want his wife? Do you want his wife? Cameraman, do you want his wife? No. No one wants his wife. Why is he talking about women? The only woman you have is the woman nobody wants. I don't want her. Nobody watching this video wants her. If you were me and you actually had choice, you wouldn't want her. So why are you talking about chicks?
Tate is so sad. He doesn't understand anything about actual romantic relationships with like a partner. It's all about just wanting to bang for him. Does he understand like attraction and loving someone and caring about them? Does he think that no one has value if they aren't like an anorexic model? Like what?
Women, what is this? She looks like more of a dude than your boyfriend you're doing the video with. Unbelievable.
Wow, he's really stretching now.
Crazy.
Only there to please men.
I think one of the videos I watched, he was discussing women as a whole, and he was saying, well, it doesn't matter how much you try to instill into your daughters and stuff like that, they're still gonna suck dick.
I love the beginning. He was like, yeah, if I was
Yeah,
Spider-Man,
that's the video I was referencing where he said about having a daughter.
I'd be sucking and fucking all day. Like, if he actually directed the movie, it would just be a porn, basically.
Some robber killed his uncle. Is this the right story? And now he decides he wants to stop crime to get the robber who killed his uncle. Does he even catch that robber ever? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking.
It's in the first 20 minutes or something of the Sam Raimi movie, Tate. Do you even know what you're talking about?
Does he catch the robber? I don't know. If you guys know about Spider-Man, tell me.
So he's making a review about Spider-Man with knowing nothing about Spider-Man.
Why the fuck would I watch Spider-Man? I'm a multi-millionaire.
Then why did you make a review of Spider-Man, Tate? Then why did you make a review of Spider-Man?
I'm a multi-millionaire. I fly on private jets and I drive Lamborghinis. You want...
Okay, then when you're on your private jet, pull out your phone and watch Spider-Man, or a tablet and watch Spider-Man. Jesus Christ. He is Dennis Reynolds. He is the Golden God.
Watch Spider-Man so you can look away from your wife for a few seconds. If I was you, I would watch Spider-Man. I'd keep my eyes glued to the screen so I don't have to look at the ogre next.
You think he deleted that video? That would track. But here is your video at the timestamp where he says it. Thank you. I'm glad I kept that somewhere.
As my father did with me. If I have a daughter and I put a bunch of work in, what can I achieve? She's gonna end up sucking dick.
Oh, these videos are so frustrating. I agree, past me. You're so right.
To me. Of course you watch Spider-Man, bro. I got stuff to do. Jesus, you got an idiot. You know why he's a pussy? I'll tell you why he's a pussy. Both of them. If someone insulted my chick, I'd say, okay, here's a first-class ticket. Let's throw down in the cage. I'm going to insult his wife this whole way through his video. He won't show up and fight me. He won't do a single thing.
No, he could probably have your video taken down, though, which would be pretty funny.
Another video back, crying about it. Andrew says bad things, my wife's ugly. Put a picture of your wife in the next video, bro. Let everyone make their own mind up. I don't have to say anything. Put a picture of your own wife in your own video. Jesus, what failure.
Man, that's also pretty on brand.
This is something small I really dislike about Andrew Tate, because he's done this before. He like plays stupid on so many things, because he makes it seem like I can't be bothered to learn about this thing.
That's absolutely true. I've never watched Spider-Man and I can't be bothered. It's not playing.
Then why did you make a review of Spider-Man? No one's telling you, Tate. I think you're misunderstanding. No one is telling you you have to watch Spider-Man. You don't have to watch Spider-Man. That's fine. No one's asking you to watch Spider-Man if you don't want to. We are asking, why did you make a review of Spider-Man if you've never seen Spider-Man and know nothing about Spider-Man? I'm so... What is this Baja just sent? A right-wing hero is taunting the father of a sick child, but there's a happy ending. Oh god, Tate, what is Tate doing? Andrew Tate is a professional kickboxer. He recently attained a degree of notoriety for his claims that depression isn't real. This notoriety gained him many supporters among the right, including figures like Paul Joseph Watson and conspiracy site InfoWars. When was this? October 2017? But Tate's latest activity has been him using a child's sickness to taunt the father, and although you'd expect that this would be a step too far, many of his followers are actively praising him. John Rosenberg is a comic book artist. One of his sons has cerebral palsy. He has been accepted for surgery that would treat his condition, but as Rosenberg lives in America, this surgery isn't free. So to try and pay for it, the artist set up a GoFundMe page. Most people would draw the line at using a child's illness to belittle a parent, but Tate is not most people. Andrew Tate says, what's wrong with your son? He says, read it for yourself, or have a literate friend help you. And he says, do you feel like a failure that the amount you need to help your own son is less than a quarter that I spent on one of 5 of my cars? I'll help you if you ask. It's nothing to me. Your comic books have failed, but I am a success. Ask nicely and I'll save your son. Jesus Christ. And then the guy says, imagine being this guy and thinking you're superior to anyone. He says, those at the top enjoy the benefits of their merits and believe everyone should be judged purely on their merits. You can take your money and shove it up your superior asshole, Cobra Potato. Come punch me. It's nothing to me. Your comic books have failed. Ridiculous. My God. Luckily, they did get the money they needed for the kid, for the record. So that's great. Tate is a dirtbag. What an absolute dirtbag. Tate. People grow up. And yes, most people are sexual in some way. Whether they're, my hair was bad that day, straight, or gay, or bi, whether they're men or women, cis, trans, non-binary, whatever they happen to be. Yes, your kids grow up someday, and they will probably, statistically speaking, be sexual beings. It's not something parents want to think about, but it's true. But that's none of your business, and it doesn't diminish their value as human beings at all. Like, what is wrong with you? Tate, I think do you understand that you're inherently saying that, like, all the women you've slept with, that you just have, like, and I know he knows this, but I just want to point it out, he has no respect for them. And he thinks that they're just, like, pieces of shit that he should use, abuse, and throw away. Because, well, they're sucking his dick, so why should he care about them? It's a disgusting worldview. MMO addicted, I mean, I see why you guys watch me.
Stupid, I haven't seen the fucking movies.
And virgins. You know the Spider-Man story. Everybody does. You were a kid at one point, you fuck. You know Spider-Man.
So there's a large part of what he does, which is intentional trolling, turning it up to an 11 in order to piss people off to get a reaction. But when you peel away, like, layers of the onion to see, like, oh, is he doing that just to, like, troll? Like, you realize that's actually who he is as well.
I think if you watch Andrew Tate's videos, you start to think, okay.
It sounds like it's doubled. Like the audio's happening in like really close, but it's like doubled, and there's a little bit of like offset on the doubling of the clips.
Is this a facade? Is he playing a character? But when you watch enough of his videos, you start to hear him sound level-headed sometimes. But he's still Andrew Tate to the fullest.
Does he hang the robber by his neck in the middle of the city with rope? So he and hangs him to death? No. He takes his ass down the police station to fill in paperwork. What kind of fucking superhero are you? Killed your uncle.
I think he's just mad at the concept of a superhero.
Is that not true? This is what I mean. I am an extremely intelligent individual.
Let's pause there for no particular reason. All right.
But for me to try and understand other people's worldviews sometimes, it's really interesting. I just said that if you're a superhero and you catch the man who kills your uncle, you hang him in the middle of the city to teach him a lesson for killing your uncle.
Yeah, that's what supervillains do. Tate, you're describing a supervillain? At best, you're describing an anti-hero like the Punisher. And even then, I don't think the Punisher is quite that dramatic. He'll murder criminals, but I don't think he feels the need typically to, like, hang them in the street for everyone to see unless it was a particularly awful person. It's certainly not Spider-Man, let me put it that way. Except in the What If story, that was what if Spider-Man became the Punisher, which is interesting, but it's not what Tate's talking about. I've read that one. Have you guys read that? Hold on. Spider-Man is the Punisher. It's pretty good. This one, What If the Punisher was Spider-Man? It's great. I've read that one. His web shooters are guns. I like the what if stories.
And these men find that offensive. No, you can't hurt people who hurt your family. You take them to the police station. How can that offend you? Like, on what level must you be a bitch in your heart for that to offend you? So if I were to slap the wife of the sex toy, the ogre, if I were to slap her, his number one retribution to me would be to take me to the police station?
Probably. That's assault. And it would be hilarious. Please do it, Tate, so you wind up in jail. That'd be beautiful.
That's what he'd do?
Yeah, adults actually use the law. They don't just fight each other for fun in the street.
Oh, you beat up my ogre. I'm going to call the police. Like, these are men? It's just like, and then
I'm gonna count
they
that.
find me offensive.
Him questioning their gender. I'm going to count that towards we're at 7 now.
I understand I'm abrasive. I come across that way on purpose. But I just don't think they realize the videos they're making, they're trying to hate on me, but they're just exuding feminine qualities.
There's another one. You're a lol cow, Tate. They're making fun of you.
They're complaining about my hair. They're complaining that I would get retribution for a killed family member. They're complaining that I don't idolize females as gods.
No, they're complaining that you view women as lesser than men. It's not about putting people up on a pedestal. It's about being egalitarian.
They're complaining. Like, what are you complaining about? These guys sound like women.
There's another one.
It's clear that the little fat boy has never had a girlfriend, and it's clear the sex toy's wife is in charge of him. It's obvious. It's obvious for everyone to see.
Because he respects and loves his wife? What? Does Tate think the only, like, modality of being with a woman is to dominate her and you can't have, like, a loving partnership? Great. I'm sure that'll work out for him in the long run.
Dislike me, a man who lives on his own terms. I have women so beautiful. Women they could never...
Tate, you hire escorts. We understand. We don't care. If you want to hire escorts, that's your business. That's fine. But no one is jealous of you that you get to hire escorts constantly. Most people don't want that. And let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with engaging and soliciting sex work if that's legal where you are, right? That's your business. That's between you and the sex worker, and that's wonderful. That's fine. What I am saying is going online and being like, look at all the beautiful women I paid to stand to be around me. That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Never possibly fathom touching who can't control me. And they have ogres telling them what to do. Why do they hate Tate? Work it out. It's all
because you're a bad guy. It's not rocket surgery.
obvious. Geeks.
Superhero. I don't think he's actually just hates Spider-Man.
Boiled down, he just hates the fact that fictionally someone has powers that exceed his own.
Excuse me. I never said Spider-Man's powers exceed mine.
They do, though? Spider-Man is a fictional superhero with super strength? What?
Spider-Man's powers do not exceed mine. I still
They literally do. Spider-Man could pop your head if he punched you with all his force.
have more power
Not
than
that it matters, he's fictional, but my point is to say that you're, like, more powerful than Spider-Man is a really cringe thing to say, because it's, like, objectively untrue.
Spider-Man. I just dislike him. Also, a lot of comics were made. People made a lot of comics about my Spider-Man adventures. In fact, we're going to put some screenshots in here. You can see that.
Look, I had someone draw me beating up Spider-Man. This is canon, damn it.
Keto defeats Spider-Man.
Yes.
So Spider-Man...
Oh my god, I want this comic. He beats Spider-Man to death. What the... He called them dorks, and then he's like, actually, guys, I'm way more powerful than Spider-Man. Look at this comic with someone drew where I beat Spider-Man to death. God damn it. The humor this is bringing me is probably more pleasure than Tate has ever brought to any woman. I love it.
It's been proven in comic books. My Aikido defeats Spider-Man. Once again, incorrect.
If it's not actually Conan that's playing Spider-Man, oh boy.
They're not men.
There you go.
They're barely boys. Look at these Spider-Men.
The first thing
No
he says,
hesitation.
he goes,
Not men. Clear it up.
they're not men.
At least with
But they're not. And they're going to laugh at that point because instead of accepting the reality that the characters who play Spider-Man are weak little boys.
You want this in the Hall of Fame? We'll do a vote. Okay, there's a vote. Does this belong in the Hall of Fame of Chud Watch? Vote on it in the chat.
If they accept that reality, then they have to admit they're weak little boys. So they deny it. They're just denying reality. They're denying reality. They're denying the fact that no man wants to be them. They're denying the fact that they're not masculine individuals. They're denying everything. Although they're
There's the masculine thing again. We're at 10. We're at 10 they're a lady comments.
men too. They're men too because they look like pussies. I'm a man. I look like a pussy. Not in the real world, my friend. In the real world, outside of YouTube, where you can get a whole bunch of other incels to like your videos. In the real world, when people like you are sat next to someone like me, it's very obvious to everybody observing that you're a second-rate individual. It's obvious. It's obvious by your characteristics. It's obvious by the female that you hold company, the ogre. It's all obvious.
Female.
They're not men.
At least with Batman, they got Christian Bale.
This clip's a little longer than need be.
Batman is... I explained this in the Spider-Man review when we tackled this. Batman is... Hold on, we'll take a look. It looks like this is going in the Hall of Fame based on the vote, by the way. Let's look at Batman versus Spider-Man. Batman comic. We'll just look at a smattering. Spider-Man comic. Okay. So you'll notice Batman, as he's typically depicted in the comics, because of the nature of Batman as a fictional character, Batman's just a normal human who is peak physical human because he trains so often. He doesn't have superpowers. He just uses his brain, his gadgets, and his physical training to get around. So Batman is typically depicted as peak fitness in terms of, like, a good... how do I put this? He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's in really good physical shape. He's got a good balance between flexibility and power, right? So someone like Christian Bale, who can work out and get into really good shape, makes sense, because he can look like someone who's very in shape. You know? This is the build of Batman, typically. At least when we're talking about Bruce Wayne Batman. So it makes sense to have him be like this. Spider-Man, on the other hand, is not this. Spider-Man's powers and abilities, while he does have super strength, because he has the proportional strength of a spider, is more acrobatic. He doesn't... Well, he's in good shape. He has what I would more consider like an acrobat's or swimmer's bod. Like, he has abs and stuff, and he has definition, but he doesn't have bulk, because he doesn't need it, because his muscles are, like, super powered. Spider-Man is a gymnast. Yeah, he has a gymnast body. So it wouldn't make sense to get, like, a big beefy dude to play Spider-Man, because that's not how he's depicted. This picture from Ultimate Spider-Man, for instance, is a really good example of how Spider-Man is often depicted in more modern times. Very slender, acrobatic, flexible. Older Spider-Man from, like, the 60s and 70s was a little more muscular, but especially modern Spider-Man, coming from after the 2000s to today, is usually depicted as this more... Is lithe the correct word? Acrobatic gymnast. Which makes sense for the kind of character he is, and that's perfectly fine. None of this matters, of course, because we're talking about just a fictional character. It doesn't really matter. But I just find it funny that Tate thinks he can go and talk about a subject like this and act like he knows what he's talking about when he doesn't. He just sounds like an idiot.
He just shows the entire Batman movie.
That's the rest of the playtime.
Like, he's not Batman, then you just...
Can't Spider-Man lift something like 1.5 tons? Oh, I think the power levels vary. I'm not sure.
Shows like a 1.5 hour Batman film. You think you have to have a bicked, shaved head in order to be a man in Andrew Tate's wheelhouse?
You joke, Leon, but I remember watching a video, Tate on hair, where he talks about hair. You caring about your haircut and being like, oh, I want a little 3 on the side and I want it lined up right here, is you being an absolute pussy. That's why he just shaved his hair off.
Why is that not completely true? I'm genuinely asking, why is that not completely true?
Because it doesn't matter? Ascribing, like, masculine or femininity to caring about how you look is kind of silly, considering half of your complaints about these two is that you think they don't look the way you think they should look. So it's just ironic that you draw the line at hair, right? I could easily say to you, oh, you care about your body and how physically attractive you look to other people? What are you, a woman? Now that would be sexist and ridiculous, but I'm saying that's what Tate's doing. So it's just weird that he draws the line at hair when he clearly cares about the way he looks in other ways.
He even did the, ooh, can I have a 3 on the side in a pussy's voice. So he just did it in a pussy's voice because he knows it's true.
He's making fun of you, Tate. Do you get that?
So they're just going to state something which is true. They're going to say it in a pussy's voice, confirming I'm right, and then they're going to laugh about it to try and deny it because they don't want to accept that they're pussies. That's their argument.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, it's not because his hair fell out of his head when he was 25 and he's completely bald. It has nothing to do with that, I'm sure.
Here's a picture of me at 28 with a full head of hair. So,
I don't really want to comment. I don't want to comment because I'm not going to comment on other people's looks. I don't think it's fair to do.
as usual, the sex toy is wrong. He chose wrong with his marriage because he chose an ogre. He's wrong with everything he said in the video. and his little YouTube partner, I think his YouTube partner might be a more attractive female than his wife is.
Anyone out there who can design comics, anyone who's
Tate is attracted to Mr. GG, confirmed.
good with drawing or whatever, I want a 3 or 4 page comic where Spider-Man meets me. We meet on top of a building. I call him a punk. He tries to throw some web at me. I use my Aikido ninja moves, and I destroy Spider-Man. We're gonna conquer Spider-Man right here, right now, and you're gonna help me. Fuck Spider-Man.
Bro, he couldn't even do a proper front flip, dude.
Excuse me, my flip was good.
Why do you have to end it with a jump in the pool, by the way?
Because I like my flip, it's good.
I'm fucking inspired.
What was the flip? Let me look at the flip.
Fuck Spider-Man.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole rotation. It's better than I could do.
Bro, he couldn't even do a proper front flip, dude.
Excuse me, my flip was good.
Why do you have to end it with a jump in the pool, by the way?
Because I like my flip, it's good.
I'm fucking inspired right now.
I know, that was literally one video, and I'm emotionally exhausted.
Some of you who are really my fans, you've watched all my videos all the way back. I've got stuff from years ago, loads of stuff. But I can't remember if I've done this before. So if I've done this before, forgive me. But you ain't gonna be able to do shit about it because you ain't got hands like mine. So if you really wanna...
He's literally just threatening physical violence to the people.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. If my YouTube upsets you, listen, I just insulted your wife, right? Everyone who's gonna watch this, everyone who watches this who thinks his wife is ugly, write his wife is ugly in the comments. Let's get started, right? Everyone
Tate's gonna get his channel deleted. You can't do this.
thinks your wife is ugly, bro. Little fat boy, you're a little fat boy. You're a geek. I will fight both of you at the same time in the cage. Same time, 2-on-1, national television here in Romania. That's an offer. I'll buy you a business class ticket to come get an ass kicking. I just insulted your wife, bro. Your wife.
How pathetic to think that, like, anytime you're an asshole, that, like, yeah, come and fight me, otherwise you are a bitch. Like, you're an adult, man. Like, it's great. I have no problem with, like, combat sports. It's not something I'm interested in, but occasionally, like, on Reddit or whatever, if there's, like, a big UFC fight, I'll take a look at the VOD. I just find that stuff interesting, even though I'm not, like, into it. That's fine. Like, if you're into combat sports, awesome. Good for you. Perfect your craft. It is a skill like any other. It's worthwhile, so good for you. But to, like, take that out of the realm of sportsmanship and, like, competition and turn it into, like, a, fuck you, I have a personal problem with you and I'm gonna beat you because of it, that's really unhealthy and it's real cringe. It's real cringe.
Wife. What are you gonna do about it? Make another YouTube video? Report me? Be a man.
I mean, they could absolutely report you, and if YouTube was actually paying attention, you would get your channel removed.
Show up. You won't. You won't, will you? Because you know that your
Someone
wife's
asked
gonna
for a
watch you
link
get your
to the
ass
video
kicked,
here.
and you have to go home to the ogre with a broken face. So of course I threaten violence because I'm capable of violence. This is the bottom line of masculinity. We just discussed how the bottom line of masculinity was females. Another bottom line of masculinity is the capability for violence. For the longest period of human time, a man was a man because he could fight. That's what being a man is.
And that's awful, and that's not a good place to live. I'm glad we don't live in that world anymore, Tate. You should probably learn that that's not the world we live in. Now, that doesn't mean you can't exercise your strength and ability to fight in healthy ways. Again, kickboxing and other combat sports, a healthy way to exercise that urge in you. That's awesome. Happy for you. But to take it out of that realm and bring it into the personal, to threaten people and want to beat them up because you don't like them is, again, just kind of cringe.
You have to be able to fight. You have to have choices to fuck. You clearly had no choice because of what you chose. If you had more than one option, you wouldn't have picked what you picked. But if you have choices and you can throw down, this is what being a man is all about, my friends. So of course I'm going to threaten my YouTube viewers. If you don't like my YouTube channel, come do something, including you two punks. I am the kind of man.
I didn't think we'd get through this whole video, but I think I want to get through this whole video because it's hilarious.
Who, for the majority of his life, found someone else in the world who thought they could beat me, agreed to a time, a date, and a place, trained, turned up, got in the ring or the cage, and fought to see who the better man was. You're the kind of man who makes shady YouTube videos. You're second rate.
You're also making YouTube videos, Tate. Maybe glass houses, you know?
Right, it's the big G. Everyone knows it's true, including you. That's why you're angry. That's why you're getting so mad about me calling your wife an ogre, because you know she's an ogre. All right, anyway, back to this. Oh, the video closed. Now I gotta find it again. It's in my second inbox on Instagram. I gotta go through all these bitches' messages.
Go through your YouTube history. It's just an excuse so he could be like, look at how many women are messaging me on Instagram. Pathetic.
To me, all these hoes. I gotta find some geek. Hi, these schmucks, I swear, these men are next level joke. They act like minimum wage or something. Don't know what that means. They do not want to understand that the attitude towards life has made you a man's man because they are failures. They are too jealous. This is all here on you. This is what people are sending me. On Instagram, people are already making fun of them and sending me the link.
Yeah, your fan base, who again, are not the most confident, well-rounded people. No offense to them, but again, if you're following Tate, unironically, you should probably reevaluate. I'm gonna go get some more water. Be back in a sec. I'll put something on for you to listen to. Be right back.
I'm looking at the crowd here in the tens of thousands, probably 100,000.
Nah, I shouldn't play that one. Sure. This is only a minute.
Laughter is a deterrent.
Be right back.
The media said Joe Biden's president. The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president. Well, the Associated Press said that Joe Biden is president. The media said what?
What the fuck, bro?
Okay.
That's the only reason I found out about this shit. I don't watch Mr. fucking Soy. All right, here we go. Anyway. And I
Got him.
sorry, and I promise, I'm not going to call his wife an ogre again, because it's too easy. It's too easy. I haven't even insulted the fat kid very much. The fat kid I haven't even insulted at all. I'm just too busy making fun of this guy's ugly wife. I'm sorry.
I'm emotionally exhausted.
Some of you who are really my fans, you've watched all my videos all the way back. I've got stuff from years ago, loads of stuff.
Fat guy just said he was my fan, a little chest tap. Fat dude. I'll go easy on you. I'll knock him out. You, I'll just I'll just tap you a little bit.
Tate is so mad that these guys are making fun of him. It's so beautiful. The taste of the salt is so good.
The other dude thinks he's a tough guy.
But I can't remember if I've done this before. So if I've done this before, forgive me. But you ain't gonna be able to do shit about it because you ain't got hands like mine. So if you really wanna,
He's literally just threatening physical violence to the people watching his videos in the first 30 seconds. Does he have 2 camera angles, by the way, for the car video?
That was a slick little switch, but
Yeah.
this is like a GoPro, I think he just switched to. I mean, he planned like the perfect transition on that too. I don't know if he noticed.
Yeah.
He was just talking, then instantly turned over. I was like, oh.
They're giving you some credit there. See? Sorry, not. What's your name? Which was your fake name? Okay, they're giving you some credit. See? Cameraman. They like you. They wouldn't like you. You said his wife was ugly, but they still like your work.
they grate on me and they piss me off. But the one that's probably up there that annoys me the most is she said yes.
So I'm kind of like anti super sentimental lovey-dovey stuff too. It like makes my skin kind of crawl a little bit, but I have the capacity to like feel happiness and, you know, congratulate.
I'm not a sociopath.
Yeah.
You know, I just...
You have to be kind of a sociopath to be a YouTuber.
I'm curious, where do you think he's gonna go with this? Is it gonna be like, well, she has to say yes, or like if there was even a choice, you're not a real man? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious where he's gonna go with it.
I think that's a great prediction. I think that's what it's gonna be. Although if he's gonna criticize the way people go about it, I see some validity in that. Cause like,
Right.
if you have like your phone,
A camera in your girl's
like
face,
this,
like it's.
and you like bring out the ring, like.
That's what I'm saying. I'm anti social media proposals as well.
Oh my God, she said yes. Why are you with a bitch that would say no?
There you go.
There ain't a bitch I've fucked in the last 10 years who wouldn't say yes to me after getting fucked once.
Fuck the relationship.
They have
Tate, comes off to me as the kind of guy that thinks it's gay to go down on a woman. So I'm guessing no. One session with Tate is probably not enough to make you want to spend the rest of your life with him.
have this slight freedom he kind of allows to them.
He thinks women have freedom. They don't have freedom, my friend. Because when they meet a man of substance, they're instantly enslaved. And they're not enslaved because I want to enslave them. They enslave themselves. They meet a man like me, they get fucked by a man like me, and they'll do anything to keep me. They are biologically wired to try and find the best possible mate for offspring. They want the best possible genetic choice. This is why women are happy to share a top-tier male. This is why every single woman out there will fuck an NBA star knowing he's not loyal. Loyalty doesn't matter to women. All they want is the genetic number one. When they fuck a man like me, they are instantly enslaved by their biology.
Also, he paid them to be there, so, yeah, that helps.
Say no. There is no one better. How else are you going to have a chess genius, kickboxing world champion, 6 foot...
The level of delusion that Tate is living with is just beyond the pale. I cannot believe it. How does he function on a day-to-day basis with this level of delusions of grandeur?
Millionaire, bop, 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 bop. There's no one to replace me with, so they become enslaved. I don't have to do anything. I ignore their messages. They enslave themselves. This man thinks they have free will. Do you know why? Because on the very rare occasion that a woman is stupid enough to go anywhere near this dude, the first thing she does when she wakes up is regret it and leave.
That kind of felt like projection, to be entirely honest.
It's true. As soon as I sling that dick, it's all gone. Why it's true. The fact they cannot see that's true shows they've never done it. All the real G's watching this. All the real G's watching this. Am I telling the truth? You lay dick once right, boom, and it's over. I love you. I want to be with you. Oh, do you want me to cook? Oh, do you want me to clean? Why do you want to see me? I miss you. Da-da. All the real G's know. He's all like, oh, you fuck them once and they care about you? Because yes. You're clearly stating you can't do it, my friend. You are doing nothing but advertising your pussies. You're telling the world you can't fuck. Not only are you a fat little girl, you're back to being a girl. You can't fuck.
Any girl I fucked once would never say no.
No matter the result of that sexual experience, I know, and in 22 seconds, still would say yes.
No matter the result of that sexual experience, I nutted in 22 seconds. I think you're talking about yourself there, my friend. I think you've given it away. I think you've just given it away why the women don't.
They're calling you bad at sex, Tate. They're making a joke about you.
Enslave themselves for you. I think he just did, didn't he? No matter the result of the sexual experience. I mean, it lasted 22 seconds. Suspect. A little bit suspicious. Maybe that's why the other guy got the ogre, because she's happy with 22 seconds. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, I'm with him. Like, this makes me want to die, like these TikToks. So, like, we can agree there, Andrew Tate.
But this is the dangerous part, though, right? This is kind of what I was talking about. You start to agree with him in certain areas, and now you're like, wait, do I agree with everything you're saying? No.
There's, like, certain underlying principles, but then he takes it to, like, so far into space that it's like, wow, I just feel like I can't even agree with him on that little bit because it makes me feel like I'm a misogynist by association.
So I don't want to get married anyway, because if I want to sling this dick left, right, and center, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and go, if I put my dick in that bitch, then this bitch is going to go to the government and they're going to take half my stuff. No, thank you. I'm not stupid. Government needs to stay away from my equipment.
I'm confused. Andrew knows what a prenup is. Why is he acting like he doesn't know?
Andrew knows what a prenup is. He should just get a woman and have sex with her for 22 seconds and then make her sign a piece of paper to promise to not take half his stuff. Or could just not get married. Why would I do that? Men don't want to get married. Men get married. Let me tell you why men get married. Men get married for one of two reasons. One, the woman forces them. I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to get married. Oh, fine. Like a pussy. Or two, they're scared of losing the woman. Oh shit, she might leave me. She might leave me. Do you want to get married?
Is Tate incapable of understanding actually loving another person romantically? That's so sad.
Baby, if you're me and you know the woman's never going to leave and the woman can't tell you what to do, why the fuck would you marry her? I'll never get married because I don't need to. I don't need to get married because my women can't leave me because they're enslaved to my ultimate power because they adore me. So why the fuck would I waste time and money getting married for?
You're also paying them, which is fine. Again, I have no problem with sex work. But, like, is Andrew under the delusion that the women he pays to come and spend time with him and the women that he employs under his pimp business, does he think they're there because they find him charming? Does he not know it's because of the money? Just seems delusional. I don't know.
They're more loyal to me than, I guarantee you, my women are more loyal to me and love me more than the ogre loves that dude. He gets more shit off his ogre and her, why are you always busy? I'm sad, all this shit. She gives him more headache than my women will ever give me. Why my women give me no headache? And he married his.
Yeah, you're their employer. That's whatever.
He's proven my point absolutely. Marriage is for men like you, for one of the two reasons. Probably a combination of both. Men like me don't need to get married. Let's listen to this little fat girl talk about prenups. I've got shit to do. I'm just looking at my fucking solid gold Hublot. It's sunny outside. I got a Ferrari. I'm sitting there looking at these dorks.
I guess they really got to you then. Bruised egos are a bitch.
This is genuinely upsetting me. These nerds are wasting my life. I live a very good life. A whole hour of my fantastic life. Listen to these nerds, and now a little girl's gonna talk about prenups.
Out here on the streets, bitches waiting for me to mix it up in a pot, then me fucking sitting at home with some hoe. I said yes, so now I'm your wife, so why are you out so late? You better be quiet.
Hey, you better be quiet, or you know what's coming after that, huh? Just starts beating his GoPro right now.
Tate's been on camera talking about how he hits women, so even though they're using this as a joke, he legitimately does hit women.
I can't stop looking at. Actually, this is a beautiful still frame. If you just zoom in on his face right there, tells you all you need to know about Andrew Tate.
Stand up. Yeah, that beautiful still frame. I almost look like his wife. Almost.
Move a couple bitches out the way. And I walk to the bathroom. I look in the mirror. I'm built like motherfucking Hercules. 1 second.
Excuse me.
Take speeches. Quiet.
Who needs editing?
Yeah, who needs editing? Exactly, I'm a G. Who needs editing? Just shut up. I
don't know. I mean, you only have 32,000 subscribers compared to, like, Lush's million, so I guess editing does count for something, but, you know. You don't have to edit. That's fine.
I'm gonna shut up and I continue to film my videos. That's never happened to you. You ain't got any women.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for you, but let's try and do it bit by bit. You wake up, bitch here, the bitch here. Move them hoes out the way. You walk to the bathroom. You're 6'3", built like Hercules. Caramel.
Real quick, if we could.
Small comparison.
Yeah, I just wanna. Is it literally all fucking animated right now? Jesus Christ.
Built like Hercules.
It even surprises me that he allows women to sleep on his bed at this point, and he doesn't have just like little doggy beds on the floor for them.
That is.
This video's gotten boring. It's boring now. I'm trying my best with you guys. I'm trying to keep it entertaining for you.
Astute observation. I didn't even think about that. The fact that he's sharing personal space with them after he's used them for their only God-given purpose.
Making any type of compromise with a woman is kind of pussy on his part. I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say that's not. That sounds like something Spider-Man would do.
Women sleeping in my bed's a bad thing. Once again, no women sleep in their beds.
Well, the one dude's married, so his wife probably does, but again, they're making fun of how misogynistic you are, Tate. It's a joke. You know, jokes, the thing funny people do.
Well, no woman should sleep in my bed. 22 seconds. We have 22 seconds and we have the ogre married.
The video's almost done, by the way. I know this has been taking forever, but I wanted to finish this one.
I'll walk into the fucking most premier establishment you can name with my shirt unbuttoned. So every bitch in there knows I cheat.
I find myself super funny. I find myself super funny.
Narcissists usually do.
I am super funny.
So every bitch in there knows that I cheat?
I think he's still throwing curveballs at me somehow, and I don't know how. The title has nothing to do with this so far. Now, I just realized that. Absorbing your enemy's energy? Is he getting to the point? Is it going to be like the last... Is this like a clickbait vlog right now?
You know those little frogs that are like toxic colors?
That's me.
I'm just like a frog. I mean, come on. All in all, you boil it down, I'm just like a frog, okay?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know those little frogs with toxic colors? That's me with the shirt unbuttoned. I'm a frog.
Hello,
I'm
my
toxic.
darling. Hello,
I'm a
my
cheater.
baby.
I'm a cheater. Why
Oh,
would
he does a pretty good Andrew Tate impersonation.
I button my shirt if I'm just gonna cheat on every bitch that walks in the place?
It's true. Why would I button my shirt? I mean, it's cold now. It's like -10, so I'm wearing a, you know, I should have had an unbuttoned shirt for this video. I don't want to start again. They're not worth starting again. I'm not watching this shit again.
Just change the title to I'm a Frog, capitalized.
Yeah. Really missed an opportunity for a better title here, in my opinion.
When you put a shirt on, do your buttons up. 'Cause you don't want anyone to look at you.
Here's where I get worried. You go to the comments, top comments. Seriously, who hates on Tate is one of the most genius ways of instilling confidence to everybody.
Exactly. So now they're going to go through my videos and see that everyone actually agrees with what I say.
Yeah, your audience of people who are all people who are jealous of you because they're insecure in some way, or they've bought some really destructive view of what masculinity should be, and they want to be like you. Luckily, it's not that many people. You only have 32,000 subscribers. Your videos get fewer than that, typically, which is good. Like, this video only got 2.9, this got 5.5, 6.5. It's a small but dedicated community of red pill MGTOW type people that enjoy your content. It's not healthy for them and it's not healthy for you, but at least it's contained. We'll put it that way.
But they don't agree, and it bothers them they don't agree. And it bothers them like, oh, I can't possibly agree with him. And they said it themselves, they're conflicted. He says things that are true, but then I don't want to agree with him, because if I agree with him, I have to accept I'm a loser.
No, they said they agree with, like, the fact that they think proposals on, like, social media or, like, TikTok proposals are cringe. And then they said, and then you take it crazy far, which you always do, and that makes them think you're hilarious and disagree with you. At no point did they said that they think they're a loser.
You watch my entire channel and you agree with everything I say. The only logical conclusion at the end of it all is that men
They don't
like
agree
both
with
of you
everything you say.
are
They made
losers.
fun of
So
99% of what you
although I'm telling
said.
the truth, you don't want to accept that you're losers. So you try and sit there and you try and establish dissonance. You try and make fun of it with little jokes. Little jokes. Oh, I lasted 22 seconds in bed. You make your little jokes, trying your best to pretend that everything I've said is not true. Because the more true it is, the bigger of a loser you are. And we're about to go through now a whole bunch of people in the comments saying I'm right. So guess what that says about you two dorks?
I don't know if we want...
Okay, let's take a look at their original video. Do you have a link to their original video? Let's take a look. 3 days ago. Nope, that's Tate talking about it. Let me see if I can find... Whose channel was it on? Was it on Leon's channel or was it the other guy's channel? Oh, I think it was this one. Yeah, 6 days ago.
Listen.
Okay, so their video has 10 times, over 10 times, 15 times the views, and the comments here are almost certainly going to be making fun of you, right? So, by your own standard, since this comment section is making fun of you, like this one, wakes up as Tate one day, immediately finds rope, a rafter, and a chair. So there are more comments on this channel that are saying that you're disgusting and making fun of how silly you are. So that means they're right, right? If you want to be internally consistent.
Watch the same video, or if you know anything about this man, but the delivery and everything else this man is about is completely toxic and terrible.
He didn't even...
Toxic. He's toxic. Who is toxic?
Yeah, you are.
The man who beat the shit out of me in front of my wife was toxic. This guy's a dork. Turn up. Turn up. Accept my invitation. Get on the plane. Get in the cage.
I'm not toxic. Come and fight me.
And I'll show you what toxic is. Your wife could watch from somewhere at the back. This is Romania. We got beautiful women around. There's going to be like hot chicks around. She has to be in a burqa or something.
He didn't even circle back to the fucking title, by the way. He just left
No,
that hanging.
I guess it's just the assumption that people are constantly emailing him, telling him to button his shirt. So he's absorbing the hate by making a YouTube video about having an unbuttoned shirt. Because he's Andrew fucking Tate.
I love how someone else had to explain that to me, aside from him.
Yes.
The ride we went on, just him being like, hey guys, shut the fuck up. Anyways, the reason why my nipples are usually out.
I'm bored of this. Are they done with my videos? All right, I think they're done with my videos. I just want to do a real quick thing. Leon Lush and Mr. GG. Because we've already looked up the ogre. It's Leon Lush's wife. But it's very interesting to me because if you look up Leon Lush Instagram is different than YouTube or Twitter. Because Twitter, you can get your ideas across. YouTube, you edit little videos. But your Instagram really shows your life. That's what makes Instagram so interesting. Like, people who are...
That's where I go to get reality. Instagram, where everything is an accurate reflection of people's lives and nothing is fake.
To be influential on Instagram, even if it's all fake, you still have to go to beautiful places. You still have to have a beautiful car. You still have to, even if it's airbrush, you still have to look good. Like, Instagram is a fake world, but still you can show your life. So I like to look at people's Instagrams because it says a lot about their life as a whole. So, I mean, we know what my Instagram's about. You can see my Instagram. You can see me. You see cars, money, glamorous locations, beautiful women. That's who I live. You know, I'm a full-grown man. I grew up with nothing, no family, money, nothing. I started from a lesser place than these two. I decided to become a fighter, worked very hard, became a 4-time world champion, became a multimillionaire. And I enjoy the finest things on earth. I enjoy the finest Cuban cigars. I enjoy the finest cars money can buy. I enjoy big, expensive steaks and very nice 6-star hotels.
And you're still miserable. How sad.
This is what I enjoy. So that's what my life is about. My life is about achievement, my life's about being successful, and my life's about spending money. Because I made millions, so why the fuck not spend it? What's this guy's life about? It's just him, clips of him on YouTube. Isn't
Yeah, it's his channel? That's his job? His Instagram promotes his channel. Do you know how jobs and online presence works? You're promoting your business, which is scamming insecure, desperate men into paying you to tell them how to live a life they think they should live, and his job is entertaining people. Their Instagrams are going to reflect that.
Isn't this the perfect circle to my video? What did I say at the beginning? That their entire existence is YouTube. Look at this guy's Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, Leon Lush. It's just clips and clips and clips of him on YouTube. Him on YouTube, him on YouTube, him dressed, covered in rose petals. I guess that's what a real man should look like instead of me.
Ooh, we got another one. Hold on. So far, we're at 13 jokes that are just the same joke of they're not a man.
And just clips of him. Look, I did a new YouTube clip. Look, I did a new YouTube clip. Look, I did a new YouTube clip.
Yeah, it's his job. It's his job.
Because his whole existence is YouTube. Outside of YouTube, I can see he has... What does he have? He has the ogre. He shows one picture of his wife. Not very many. Don't blame him. And then just YouTube clips. This is him without a beard. I mean, is that the kind of guy who gets bullied in school? A bit. There's nothing about this guy's life that's interesting or aspirational. I mean...
He has a loving wife and a successful business on YouTube. He has a sense of humor. He's able to laugh at himself. These are all admirable qualities, and I'm happy for him.
He's doing the soy face, you know, the men when they're like, because they have low testosterone levels, he's doing that all over it.
What? 14?
It's pretty embarrassing as a whole. I mean, this is him dressed as a tomato.
Yeah?
I mean, this is the man telling you how a man should act. This is the man telling a 4-time kickboxing world champion multimillionaire how men act.
Yeah? You can act however you want, Tate. You identify as a man, you're a man. He's a man with a sense of humor about himself, which I think is healthier than what you're doing.
It's quite interesting. Let's look at Mr. GG. So, I mean, that's perfect circle. That's proved my point. That outside of their little YouTube videos, these guys are nothing. They have nothing. They've done nothing. Outside of getting YouTube followers, they've done nothing. They haven't been in the ring or the cage. They've not done anything in sports. They're not particularly fun.
Okay, and they're better at you than YouTube. At YouTube. What's your point? You have different jobs. You were a kickboxer, so you can fight. They're YouTubers, so they can do YouTube more successfully than you. Yeah, people are better at the thing they choose to do every day. How shocking.
Financially successful, they've done nothing. Let's see what Mr. GG has to say. Mr. GG Instagram. Ooh. And here we are again. YouTube clips.
Again, it's his job? Yeah?
His whole life is YouTube clips. Hey guys, I made a new YouTube clip. I wake up, I drive supercars, I go and look at one of my casinos. I own 15 casinos, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I go look at my casinos. I spend time with beautiful women. I go to beautiful places. I do interesting things. These guys, I'm gonna make a new video and put it on my Instagram and my YouTube. Guys, I made a YouTube video. Guys, I made a YouTube video. Their whole existence is YouTube. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that that's how they define their individuality as a person? That's how they define.
You define yourself by paying women to sleep with you and going around the world acting like a douchebag. That's so much worse.
Here we go. Let's leave it on this. When you finally finish editing at 4:30 a.m. and hit 10K followers on Instagram while knocking on the door of 200K subs on YouTube, that's his comment to his picture.
Yeah, he's successfully running his business, entertaining people. He's actually being productive by producing something, producing entertainment. What do you produce? You sit on your ass all day, take pictures for Twitter of your stupid cars, and then make money off the backs of women that you're using for their bodies so they can make money and then hand it to you. You're a piece of shit, Tate. You're a leech.
And this isn't relatable at all, as in he's the only man in the world to have ever done it. I just wanted to show off the onesie I bought for $3. And here he is, in a onesie.
Yeah, it's a cute onesie.
Like a geek, bragging about the fact he has YouTube followers, because outside of YouTube, both of these men are nothing. And I am saying this genuinely.
He has 200,000 followers on YouTube, Tate. You only have 15 cars, so he's winning by quite a bit.
Man to man. You made a video making fun of me, I made fun of you, blah, blah, blah. But man to man, if anything I said has offended you, genuinely, you are welcome to travel to Bucharest, Romania, first-class flights. And that is a genuine offer, because how else are we going to sell this? You make a video, I make a video, it goes on forever. Both of you at the same time, versus me, no rules, bare knuckle, we'll do it in the cage, we'll do it on TV, it'll make a fantastic YouTube video. Otherwise, you're going to have to accept the fact that your Instagrams prove your lives are shit. Everyone would rather be me than you. And everybody knows one of you can't get laid and lasts 22 seconds, and the other one of you has married a female, which is brutally unattractive. I know how losers think. I know what weaklings do. Of course, they will not accept my challenge to unarmed combat. Instead, they're going to try and report this video and make up some reason saying that I hurt their feelings, blah, blah, blah.
Then don't... Tate, I'm pretty sure you broke TOS multiple times in this video. If you don't want your video removed and to get a strike, don't do that.
It was also available on Odyssey, and it will be available on Odyssey until the end of time, me calling his wife an ogre, because she is. So if you do want to watch this video over and over and over again to laugh and laugh and laugh, there's a link in the description to the Odyssey account where they will not be able to ban me. His wife will eternally stay an ogre. The challenge will eternally stay open until he gets some balls and comes over here and gets his ass kicked. Enjoy.
Tate never matured past like 10 years old. What's up with that? So that's the long Tate speech video for today. That was pathetic. Oh yeah, we got to get the Hall of Fame stuff. Hold on. What screenshot are we going to use for the Chud Watch Hall of Fame? What do you guys think? The comic? Let me see where that is in the timestamp. Where do they talk about Spider-Man?
Toy's wife is in charge of him. It's weak little boys, so they deny it. They're just denying reality. They're denying reality. They're denying the fact that no man wants to be them. They're denying the fact that they're not masculine individuals. They're denying everything.
Does anyone know the timestamp of the comic, roughly? Trying to scrub through and find it. There's him talking about Spider-Man. Where does that comic come up? 2601, thank you. There we go. Sure. Hold on, let me do this. Okay, let's add this to the Hall of Fame, shall we? Image, add source, new source, add source. Sorry, this is the most thrilling, I know. I just gotta add the text and we'll be good. Oopsie. Tate beats up Spider-Man. That's what I'm gonna call it, even though the video involves other stuff. There we go. Chud Watch Hall of Fame achieved. Congrats, Tate. You're among Caitlin Bennett, Maga Cope 2020, and now Tate beats up Spider-Man. Can we not use this silly font that makes it fake Cyrillic, please? Why? How dare you? Why do you not like my font, goddammit? We can figure it out another time if we want to change the... So that's Tate. Good job, as always.